Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah Shivaya.
You will be, yep. They call him Munnu or Munna, like that. And in the village people, they will have a different name for him. So, our Jagatishwara there in Mumbai is very, very famous and popular in that area. So one day I was just sitting and thinking about our Jagatishwara, and all these various names of Jagatishwara just popped up in my head, so I wrote them down. Now see these names of all Jagatishwara, Lord Shiva. It's a simple rag also, called Rag Bhupali. Jagadishwara Parameshwara, Jagadishwara Parameshwara,
Jagadishwara Parameshwara,
Sarveshwara Nageshwara,
Sarveshwara Nageshwara,
Sarveshwara Nageshwara,
Sarveshwara Nageshwara,
Jagadishwara Parameshwara,
Jagadishwara Parameshwara,
Jagadishwara Parameshwara,
Jagadishwara Parameshwara,
Hridayeshwara Gaurishwara,
Hridayeshwara Gaurishwara,
Hridayeshwara Gaurishwara, Mantreshwara Yeshwara,
Mantreshwara Girishwara,
Mantreshwara Yeshwara,
Mantreshwara Girishwara,
Bhaveshwara Nageshwara,
Bhaveshwara Nandishwara,
Bhaveshwara Nandishwara,
Bhaveshwara Nandishwara,
Jagadishwara Parameshwara,
Jagadishwara Parameshwara,
Jagadishwara Parameshwara,
Jagadishwara Parameshwara,
Parvati Mahadev ki jai. Okay. Now we will see a little bit of Shiv Puran. असली बात है कि शिव पुराण संस्कृत में है. शिव पुराण रिलीज इन संस्कृत, राइट. लेकिन मेरे सामने, मेरे पास संस्कृत शिव पुराण नहीं है. आई डोंट हैव संस्कृत शिव पुराण इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी. क्या है मेरे पास? मेरे सामने है हिंदी शिव पुराण, इन हिंदी. फिर पढ़ूंगा, आई विल रीड इट, फिर ट्रांसलेशन करूंगा, आई विल ट्रांसलेट फॉर यू. दिस इज लाइक रीडिंग फॉर द प्री स्कूल है. Because since you don't understand this language, everything becomes like preschool now, isn't it? But you know, if you learn well in preschool, I'll tell you, I remember, actually, because these things are not done properly, we have problems. I remember a teacher in the lower classes, preschool, first year, second year, whatever, taking up the garbage and asking all of us, where does garbage go? Maybe rubbish that time. Garbage is an American word. Rubbish. Where do you put the rubbish? In the dustbin. And if the teacher says that throughout the preschool every day, you know, even now, it will prick the conscience if you don't put that thing in the dustbin and you put it somewhere else. Correct or not? Because whatever I put there in your mind, in that preschool, that thing will stay for you for the rest of your life. But that thing somewhere was never done properly. Yesterday I was there in Point Lisa, a big concrete drain, big one. Water was running, all the village water was running through that. Fella come there, wearing a hat and thing, tall boots. I hear splash when I watch. It threw a plastic bag full of garbage inside the running drain. So then I was reflecting on this. Somewhere in the preschool, in the first year, second year, the teacher failed to tell this thing and demonstrate. The teacher also demonstrated. Where does garbage go? In the garbage can. Actually, really, character and everything is built in preschool only. Those things never leave us. So here, simple Hindi first, simple story. But the moral behind the story and all of that is very important. Now this program which we are now conducting here is a production of the Yatra, Shiv Ganga Mahayatra Committee. And every year we walk from Blanchisseuse to Pinal or some place like that, right? Over 5 days. But this year, because of COVID, we are here. Today we walk 20 miles right here. Well, all who walk, their legs are paining up till now. So when we walk from Blanchisseuse to Pinal, every night when we stop in some village, we have Shiv Puran like this. So today we walked here, and so we're having Shiv Puran. This is how this came up. Huh? Dr. Raj and the committee suggested that we have Shiv Puran, and also new introduction was there. Shiva Manasa Puja in the morning, then Om Namah Shivaya chanting for 1 hour before this Satsang, all new things came up. So this is good. So anyway, we're just following the tradition. For years we have been having Shiv Puran in Temple Village and wherever we are. And I read from the same Hindi Shiv Puran. So I don't know if I read this story already, but I know I can safely count on your forgetfulness. If I read it, you also would have forgotten. So good thing, I can read it again. Now I will. Sut ji bole. Now what is this story? हमारे सारे पुराणों में बहुत सारे कहानियाँ हैं. There are so many stories that are in all of our Puranas as to how Lord Shiva got his, not Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu got his Sudarshan Chakra. You know that Lord Vishnu has a Sudarshan Chakra, you know that thing? What is Sudarshan Chakra? That disc. That thing with a serrated edge. The most deadly weapon. Anyway, Lord Vishnu has this Sudarshan Chakra on his little finger like that. If you see any picture, you will see him. And Sudarshan Chakra is very famous. So there are many, many stories about this Sudarshan Chakra. Let me tell you one other story before I tell you this one. Vishwakarma is the architect of the heavens. Vishwakarma. He's the main architect who designs everything, heavenly things. So he had a daughter named Sagnya. So he married his daughter to Surya Bhagwan. Sagnya got married to Surya Bhagwan. On the second Sunday, what do you call it? Second Sunday? Second Sunday or something? Wednesday or something, she comes back home. Sunday you get married and Wednesday she comes back home or something. Anyway, she came back home. So Vishwakarma asked, Beti, kaise hai aap? Kaise hai? How are you? Papa, मैं ठीक हूँ. लेकिन एक चीज है. I am okay, but there is one thing. क्या है? ये जो सूर्य भगवान जो मेरे पति है, this Surya Bhagwan who is my husband, Surya Bhagwan is the sun, sun. That fellow a little too bright. So Vishwakarma is the one who designs things, he's architect. So the story goes, he grabbed that Surya Bhagwan and he put him on a lathe. A lathe, you know it's a lathe? He grabbed Surya Bhagwan, he put him on a lathe and he shaved out some of his brightness. And from the splendor that he shaved out, Vishwakarma fashioned Sudarshan Chakra, Trishul of Lord Shiva, and Pushpak Viman. 3 divine things. So now we know how Lord Shiva got this Trishul. So it appears, of course, later on the Sudarshan Chakra is associated with Lord Vishnu. But initially, it appears that it was associated with Lord Shiva, just like the Trishul. And of course, this is not the only story. If you skim through all the Puranic literature, you see so many stories about Sudarshan Chakra. One time, Bhagwan Vishnu had given it to Raja Ambarish also. Bhagwan Vishnu had given a boon to Raja Ambarish. Anytime you call for Sudarshan Chakra, it will be available to you. Raja Ambarish also. So it's a deadly weapon, disc. That he's the one that this is the disc that cut off the head of Rahu, who swallows the sun. like that. All right. And nobody could escape it. That is like a heat-seeking missile or life-seeking missile. It's invincible, that thing. All right. So here is the story in Shiv Puran, because I told you there are many stories in many Puranas, Vishnu Puran, this Puran, that everywhere. Here's the story in Shiv Puran. Sudji bole, Sudji Maharaj said, "Hey Brahmanagan, oh all Brahmanas," he was speaking to a group of Brahmanas. पहले समय की बात है कि अधिक बलवान दैत्यों के कारण सभी प्राणी दुखी थे. This is an old story, Sudji is telling. Because of the great power of the Rakshasas, evil fellows, in all societies at all times have evil people. Huh? There will be people who try to protect dharma and try to follow the law and do the proper things. And then there will be the other group also. Don't live in a world of fanciful imaginations and all that. You live in a real world. You open your eyes and look out at the world. And what you see in the world, you see in an atom, there is negative and positive. You see in society, there are people who follow dharma and there are corrupt people. You see that or not? There are saints and sages and there are murderers and criminals. This is how the world is. And when this started, it has always been like that, because this is the duality that ripples throughout the entire cosmic manifestation. It's a duality that is inherent, innate, intrinsic to the manifestation. And nobody could do anything about that. You really can't change the configuration or the structure of this sansar. What you can do is you stay on the right side. That is all. But this is all real living and all. And all the other fanciful things about that people, statements and all people make and all that kind of thing, you don't. You just try to maneuver your way in between the pairs of opposite. It's called real living. You're going there and you see something is endangering your life and endangering your future and all that. You avoid. You go there. Go this side. Bus. Otherwise, people have fanciful all sorts of imaginations and things. Daydream and manorath it is called in Sanskrit. Manoratha. Fanciful imagination. Meaning to say, like for example, what is it? We'll bring heaven down on earth. That is daydreaming. Then there will be no earth. Why do you think there is earth? So, but I'm telling you, you live a real life with what is in front of you. Don't dream up things in the sky and things like that. So, दैत्यों के कारण सभी प्राणी दुखी थे. Because of the wickedness and evil of these daityas, all beings became miserable. Like when Ravan, right? Ravan made everybody miserable. फिर वे दैत्य धर्म का लोप करने पर तुले हुए थे. Meaning, तुले हुए थे is an idiom in Hindi. Not so easy to, how you'll translate. Because they overpowered all things dharmic. Because these wicked fellows overpowered all things dharmic. What happened? Dharma itself became like a vagabond. Like a vagrant. Dharma became like a vagrant, but dharma had no resting place. Dharma means righteousness, goodness, propriety and duty and, wisdom and all the things put together. It's personified and it became like a beggar. Dharma. इन राक्षसों से दुखी होकर सभी देवता विष्णु भगवान के पास गए और उनसे अपना दुख वर्णन किया. With the sorrow of all the devatas, now because they were tormented also by these rakshasas. Devatas, gods, celestial beings, all classes of beings, tormented. So they went to Bhagavan Vishnu and they expressed their great sorrow. And this is the one difference between Devatas and Rakshasas. In the Puranas and all, the Devatas have this difference. What is that? They have Shraddha, faith in Bhagavan. It means to say, he is the final repository of all things. And if anything is going to happen in this world, we get our inspiration and our drive and everything from Bhagavan only. We become an instrument in his hands and things happen. So they had faith, Shraddha in that Bhagavan, all the Devatas. They went to Bhagavan and explained, described their great sorrow. इस पर विष्णु जी ने देवताओं से कहा, and then Bhagavan Vishnu replied to them, no. So they went and expressed their great sorrow and their torment, anguish and pain to Bhagavan Vishnu because of the Rakshasas, evildoers. And then Bhagavan replied, Hey Devataon, tum daro mat. Don't be put up now or scared of anything. Means we will solve this. I will solve this problem. What? मैं शंकर जी का पूजन करूंगा, उनकी कृपा से तुम्हारे दुखों का नाश होगा. It means I will do worship of Lord Shiva, and by his grace and his compassion, all your sorrows will be removed. Now one more thing you see. How the Puranas are very nicely written. This is Lord Vishnu now going to do worship and puja of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva does worship of incarnation of Lord Vishnu, Bhagavan Ram in Ramayana. So actually there is no problem between the different incarnations of Bhagavan. Different incarnations of the same Ishvara, there is no problem. Who has problem? Human beings. No, I'm a Vaishnavite, I worship Vishnu. Don't tell me anything about. Kak Bhushundi had this big problem in Uttarakhand. He was a devotee of Lord Shiva and he thought anybody who worships Lord Vishnu, they are bekar. Bekar means useless. Any person who is worshipping Lord Shiva. So people who worship this one manifestation of Bhagavan thinks he is worshipping the best manifestation and the other person, he is doing something wrong. And this is a big, big disease of human beings actually. Human beings always think whatever they are doing is the right thing and whatever the other fellow is doing is the wrong thing. This is the problem. This thing has caused so much of trouble for all of history. That what I am worshipping and the way I am worshipping and my mode of operation and all that is, people think it is wrong. Then what we have to do? We have to wipe out these people or convert them or do something. Because what they are doing is wrong. And whatever I understand, the other person thinks whatever he understands, that is right. And if you don't bring them on that side and they don't want to come, then eliminate them. How humanity has lived like this. And see, this Puranic literature and all the literature of India is like this. Lord Vishnu. You know how Vaishnavites and Shaivites used to fight at one time. Now we have a peaceful history. आओ बैठो जपो हरि नाम शिव जी की मंदिर में आओ बैठो
जपो हरि नाम शिव जी की मंदिर में
आओ बैठो जपो हरि नाम शिव जी के मंदिर में
आओ बैठो जपो हरि नाम शिव जी की मंदिर में
शिव जी के मंदिर शिव जी के मंदिर शिव जी के मंदिर
शिव जी की मंदिर शिव जी की मंदिर शिव जी की मंदिर में
आओ बैठो जपो हरि नाम शिव जी के मंदिर में।
आओ बैठो जपो हरि नाम शिव जी के मंदिर में।
आओ बैठो जपो हरि नाम शिव जी के मंदिर में।
आओ बैठो जपो हरि नाम शिव जी के मंदिर में।
This has to be a Trini composition only. I never traced it anywhere. I don't know who composed. Maybe we should ask some of the elders. But what is it? Aao, baitho, japo Hari Naam. You come, sit down, chant the name of Hari. Kahan? Where? Shivaji ke mandir mein. In the mandir of Lord Shiva. You go in the mandir of Lord Shiva, look at Bhagwan Shiva there and chant the name of Hari. And Bhagwan Shiva will not be angry. So this is something which is there in the Purana. Now, Bhagwan Vishnu is going to worship Lord Shiva. What? To solve the problem of Devatas. That he is like, representing these Devatas. And so many things are there. Sometimes, you have to get that person to do something, but you have to seek out the right person to talk to that person. We do this in ordinary life all the time or not? We do. I don't know if you do, I do. You get the right person to talk to that man. You show up in front of that person's house and he doesn't know you. Then? So you find somebody who knows him. Easy. So now, the Devatas supplicating Bhagwan Vishnu, got Bhagwan Vishnu to go now and worship Lord Shiva. Very interesting thing. Now, तुम्हारे दुखों का नाश होगा। यह सुनकर सभी देवता अपने अपने लोक को चले आए. All the devatas hearing this from Lord Vishnu now, don't worry, I will go and I will worship Lord Shiva and he will solve your problem. After hearing that, all the devatas went home. Where did they go? Went to their different lokas. They went away home. इसके बाद सभी देवताओं के तथा जगत के कल्याण के लिए विष्णु भगवान कैलाश पर पहुंचे. भगवान विष्णु now went to Kailash. What? For the benefit of the devatas and for the benefit of the world. He went. And this is one more thing in the scriptures, very interesting. You should always remember. Really speaking, the actions that really count are the actions meant for the benefit of others. Actions meant for our own personal benefit, that thing doesn't count. Action meant for the benefit of others is what really counts. So he goes there to worship Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva. Bhagwan Vishnu goes to worship Lord Shiva for the benefit of the devatas and for the benefit of the world. He says two things. देवताओं के तथा जगत के कल्याण के लिए. For two things. For the benefit of the devatas and benefit of the world. Okay. वहां जाकर कुंड में विधि पूर्वक अग्नि स्थापित कर दी तथा दृढ़ संकल्प करके विष्णु जी ने शिव जी की तपस्या करते हुए बहुत सा समय व्यतीत किया. He went to Kailash and in a kund. Kund is a kind of pond, like near pond. Kund. And he established a fire and he sat there in tapas and offering into the fire and doing worship and all that with Lord Shiva in mind. बहुत सा समय व्यतीत किया, for a long time. So बहुत सा समय means for a very long time. Means it doesn't say how long, but anyway he sat there. किंतु शंकर जी संतुष्ट नहीं हुए. But Bhagwan Shankar was not in the least bit moved by any of this. Lord Vishnu did this tapas for a long time, meditating on Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva was not in the least bit moved. Santusht word is given, means satisfied with all of this. He was not satisfied with all of this. फिर हरि भगवान ने शिव सहस्र नाम का पाठ आरंभ किया. Then Bhagwan said, what? Bhagwan Vishnu, I have done so much tapas, so much offering, this, that, and he is not pleased by all my offering and all. Then he started chanting the Sahasra Nama. Sahasra means 1,000. Sahasra. All the forms of Bhagavan will always have 1,000 names accompanying them. So the Vishnu Sahasranam is very, very popular. Here we do also chanting the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. So same with Lord Shiva also, 1,000 names, like that, all of them, right? So Bhagavan Vishnu now started chanting the 1,000 names of Lord Shiva. After all that tapas and all that, Bhagavan Shiva was not moved. So now he started chanting the 1,000 names of Lord Shiva. शिव सहस्र नाम का एक एक मंत्र बोलकर, chanting each name of Lord Shiva, एक एक कमल का पुष्प चढ़ाने लगे. He went on offering one lotus for each name. This is archana we call in Sanskrit. They call it archana, and it's a very common thing. Very, very common thing. So these type of traditions are set by the Lord himself. Lord Vishnu is now chanting one name of Lord Shiva, and for each name is offering one lotus. फिर तब एक बार विष्णु जी की भक्ति की परीक्षा लेने के लिए पूजा निमित्त 1000 आए हुए कमल पुष्पों में से एक को शिव जी ने छिपा दिया. So Lord Shiva saw Lord Vishnu offering one kamal means lotus, one lotus for each name, and like that. And then he's picking up and he's bringing it to his heart and he's offering, chanting the name. Bhagavan Shiva come from behind and he take one of the flower and hide it. Take one of the lotus and hide it. What? Bhagavan Vishnu ki bhakti pariksha lene ke liye, means to test the devotion of Lord Vishnu. Now, you please see this. This is Kailash. Kailash Parvat. Kailash Parvat, lotus don't grow. Kailash Parvat only have ice. So where he would have gotten this lotus? When Bhagavan Vishnu would have had to go or send for this lotus somewhere in Bihar or something, in some other place. So he got this 1,000 lotuses here now, and now offering. When he reached the end now, he realized one name still left, and lotus done. This is another thing. That's why we always bring extra, When we do in here, we always bring extra for the same reason. You see what happened now? One more thing there, he would have gotten the best lotuses because he's offering to Lord Shiva, and they would have been rare and all that, so he got exact 1,000. And then he realized that one is missing. What is this? Then Vishnu Bhagwan इससे आश्चर्य में पड़ गए. He was very much perplexed now. आश्चर्य में पड़ गए means where did the lotus go? I counted this thing personally myself. बहुत ढूंढने पर भी उन्हें कमल कहीं नहीं दिख पड़ा. तो 1000 की संख्या पूर्ण करने के लिए उन्होंने अपना कमल के समान एक नेत्र निकालकर Shivarpanam kar diya. Now if one name left and no lotus left, the Shiv Puran says, Bhagwan Vishnu plucked out one of his lotus eyes. He plucked out his own eye and offered it. Well, you know, all of these tragic stories end up well. All these tragic kind of stories end up well in Puranas and all. Then, शिवार्पणम कर दिया. इससे भगवान शंकर संतुष्ट होकर तुरंत प्रकट हो गए. This really moved Lord Shiva, you know. And quickly he appeared there. विष्णु जी से वरदान मांगने को कहा. And being so pleased with Lord Vishnu, he told, man, you've gone to too much lengths, you know. You pluck out your eye and all. Ask for some boon. See, if you see the Bhagavatam and the various scriptures and all, right, you will see there is the manifestation of Bhagwan Vishnu, and then from his navel comes out lotus, then from lotus comes out Brahmaji, and all of you will see stories about the origination, the manifestation of the various forms of God. But nowhere there is any manifestation of Lord Shiva like this. Jagadishwara is Swami Prakashananda, like that. Self-revealed by himself. So this Lord Shiva, now so pleased with Lord Vishnu, he told, ask for some boon. विष्णु भगवान ने दैत्यों के कारण देव आदि के पीड़ित होने की बात कही. So Vishnu Bhagavan told to Lord Shiva, now because of the wicked Rakshasas and all, the devatas are having so much of troubles. Pīrit means they are really tormented by these Rakshasas. यह भी कहा कि इन दुष्ट दानवों के वध करने के लिए मेरे पास कोई अस्त्र शस्त्र नहीं है. And he said also that to remove these wicked Rakshasas, I don't have any weapons. Astra shastra means shastra means no type of weapons and such thing to remove these Rakshasas. मैं इसी से आपकी शरण में आया हूँ, because due to that reason I have come now surrendered to you. So Lord Vishnu himself comes and surrenders to Lord Shiva. Now if you read Vishnu Puran, this is Shiv Puran. If you read Vishnu Puran, there Lord Shiva will go and surrender to Lord Vishnu and ask for some boon. Here, this is Shiv Puran, Bhagavan Vishnu is coming and surrendering to Lord Shiva and asking for some boon. यह सुनकर विष्णु भगवान को शिव जी ने एक दिव्य तथा चमकता चक्र प्रदान किया. And hearing this request of Lord Vishnu, Bhagavan Shiva gave a resplendent weapon, divine and resplendent weapon, divya tatha chamakta chakra. A chakra means a disc. Pradhan diya. जो सुदर्शन चक्र कहलाता है, which is named now as Sudarshan Chakra. Now I told you that origin of the Sudarshan Chakra, and that happened to be with Lord Shiva at the same time. It appears as though Vishwakarma had given him the Trishul and the Sudarshan Chakra. So he had both in his possession. इसी सुदर्शन चक्र से विष्णु भगवान ने दैत्यों का वध किया तथा जगत का कल्याण किया. And Bhagavan Vishnu took this Sudarshan Chakra now and went there and eliminated all those Rakshasas. So, in the story, several things are there for all of us. One is, no matter how big we are, we should learn this art of surrendering, bowing down to somebody. Otherwise, people, I tell you, in this world, the ego becomes so big, mostly because of confusion only. The ego becomes so big that that person, he will, what this Swami Vivekananda knows, he becomes suddenly bigger than Swami Vivekananda also. Or what this Swami Chinmaya knows, like that. The person's ego takes precedence over all. When he will comment about Bhagavan Krishna also. Bhagavan Krishna, what kind of statement he made in this Bhagavad Gita? This fellow became bigger than Bhagavan Krishna also. So, really, to let that ego melt down, we require some sort of thing like this. Bhagavan Vishnu also, who it is said, he is just lete hue Bhagavan, he is on Sheshnag. And because of him, the whole world is sustained only just by his lying down there. He is sustainer, na? The whole world is sustained. And such a Vishnu Bhagavan also could go and bow down to Lord Shiva, surrender to Lord Shiva. So this thing about bowing down and surrendering, we had dealt with this in our Varsha Pratipada Sansad previously about bowing down and all. It's a big thing in our tradition. Shri Guru Charana Sarojarja Nijamanu Mukurasu Dhari. Tulsidashi begins his Hanuman Chalisa. I take the dust from the lotus feet of the Guru. So the feet and bowing down and the dust of the feet and all of these things, they are big things in Sanatana Dharma. So we pay attention to them. Don't let the ego suddenly become a big thing and I somehow surpass Lord Krishna, I surpass. The Gita says so, I surpass Lord Krishna in Gita also. That is when the ego has grown. So this is the first thing, the surrender, no matter how big I am. Like that. Second thing is, Jagat Kalyan word which is given here. Jagat Kalyan means for the benefit of world, for the benefit of others. No, Bhagwan, these daityas, they cannot come and remove Bhagwan Vishnu. But they're tormenting the Devatas. So, for the benefit of the Devatas, Bhagwan Vishnu went and in the sannyas tradition, in this tradition, right, in which we belong, we go and we beg from place to place. Hey, please give this thing, please give that thing. Hanumanji, when he goes to Lanka in Sundarkand, very interesting thing takes place there. He allows himself to be tied up by Meghanad's Nagpash. Right? He allows himself to be tied up. And he's taken into the court of Ravan. And Meghanad puts him on a cart with 4 big chakra wheel. And he's tied up to that cart and he's dragging him over there. Dragging that cart. Right? Of course, Hanumanji is getting a free ride. But that time when he's going and he's tied up, all the Rakshasas of Lanka, they start saying, oh, we caught the monkey. Like that. They start talking like this. And they were taking a chance also to give him a kick. Really, you see the description in Valmiki Ramayana, Kamba Ramayana, different places. They were kicking him. The Rakshasas. Right? So when Hanumanji goes into the court of Ravan, that time, Hanumanji tells to Ravan, "Arey, ye to bari baat nahi hai. This is not any big thing, They kick me, you drag me here, and all that, and you are laughing at me and all. No problem. I am doing all this for Bhagavan Ram. So you could do whatever you want to me, because I am not doing it for me. I am doing it for Bhagavan Ram." Like that. So I am ready to take blows, insult, anything for Bhagavan. That is why Hanumanji has become such an illustrious Bhakta of the Lord, and so many people worship him. So, in the tradition, this thing is there, that once we can give up our own selfish interests in favor of others. In this sannyas tradition I was telling you, is what we beg. But I am not begging from you to take and put in my bank account. If it were that, I would have had some problems. We beg, but we beg for the benefit of society. So begging doesn't become a bad thing. Begging becomes a good thing. Like that. So here Bhagavan Vishnu goes there and he makes himself small and worships Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva doesn't show up also. How Bhagavan made himself small before Kevat? Think. Bhagavan said, I want your boat. Kevat said, nothing doing. No boat for you. Tulsidaji's comment is what? Tulsidaji's comment is, this Lord, Bhagavan Ram, who in a previous incarnation as Vaman avatar, he in 2 footsteps, he crossed over the whole universe. In 2 footsteps. He crossed the whole universe. 1 footstep over this earth and 1 footstep over the whole rest of the universe. He crossed. He comes to beg for a boat from an uneducated boatman to cross Ganga. Because Bhagavan is teaching, and see, these are all the lessons for all of us. Making ourselves small. He surrenders before Kevat in Tulsi Ramayana. Makes himself small. All for the benefit of others. This for the benefit of Kevat. All for the benefit of others like that. Huh? Okay. So this is how Bhagavan Vishnu got his Sudarshan Chakra in one of the stories of Shiv Puran. And these are the lessons inside of there for all of us. Okay. Now, of course it continues, but no, I have to leave it and stop there. He goes on to tell Lord Vishnu the glories of the Shiva Sahasranama. Chanting the Shiva Sahasranama, he says, we will be protected, we will always be free from fear, and all our cares, all our needs will be taken care of. That Shiva Sahasra Nama, 1,000 names of Lord Shiva. Okay. All right. Now I will just tell a few announcements, and then we'll have Shiva Arti. Lord Shiva Arti. Yeah? So on the 11th of March, which is just in a few days from now, that Thursday, we will have Shivaratri celebrations in our temple here. So we chant Om Namah Shivaya from 6 in the evening till midnight. 6 hours non-stop chanting. 6 hours non-stop chanting of Om Namah Shivaya. If anyone here wants to come and chant also, you're most welcome. Okay. We have segments, like I will start chanting with 15 minutes or whatever. And then you can come there, you can do your offerings and all also. On 24th of April, which is a Saturday, we'll have some Ashti Hanuman Puja here in this hall. We'll have 108, usually we have 216. Now because of COVID, we'll only have 108 Vedis spread out here. And we'll have together Hanuman Puja. I will do here in front and everybody can follow there. So you have to call up the office and give your names. What is the date? 24th of April. Okay. A few years ago, Chinmaya Mission got permission to build a university in South India, an accredited university. So now our own students can go and get proper accreditation and everything. But the purpose of mission running a university, and that is not off our board, drawing board here in Trinidad as well, but it is there in India now. The purpose of Chinmaya Mission running a university is that we are able to really bring, even at that level, still a blend between spirituality and secular education. So the university is up and running, but it needs expansion, it needs funds, it needs so many things. So for 1 month, starting from Puja Gurudev's birthday, which is on 8th of May, from 8th of May to 8th of June, we'll be doing something which is called as crowdfunding for that month. So crowdfunding, how it works is, all of you, for instance, we ask, please give $5 a day, or $10 a day, or $1 a day, whatever you can afford. And the people who you know also, with some number, let's say 5 or 6 people who you know, try to get them to do the same thing. And we are doing this in all our centers, from Australia to Hong Kong to everywhere. And whatever money is collected from across the world like this, we'll send it to the university. And you remember this, I will not go to that university. You may not go also, but somebody will go. Somebody will go to that university and they will get the benefit. So this is Loka Kalyan, benefit of the world. And let me tell you, $5 is only 1 doubles, you know. How much for doubles? $4. $4 for double, huh? 5 in some places. Yeah, one fellow charged me 5 for a single. You cheat me? Anyway, so just to help out some cause like that, huh? So May 8th to June 8th, like that. Okay. Whenever we have any function at the ashram, big functions, we need security outside for the cars and this and that. So one Sonji is there, he's always big, tall fellow. He's always there as our security. Today is his birthday. So we'll sing happy birthday for Son and then we'll have Arati. Okay. Now happy birthday. I don't know if Son here, but this thing is being carried live on Zoom, so Son might be listening. Son might be in the right zone to be hearing. Janmadinamidam ai priya sakhe.
Janmadinamidam ai priya sakhe.
Janmadinamidam ai priya sakhe.
Janmadinamidam ai priya sakhe.
Chandanote sarvada mudam.
Shantanotu te sarvada mudam.
Shantanotu te sarvada mudam.
Shantanotu te sarvada mudam.
Prarthayamahe bhavashatayushi.
Prarthayamahe bhavashatayushi.
Prarthayamahe bhavashatayushi.
Prarthayamahe bhavashatayushi.
Ishvara sada tvam cha rakshatu.
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 Punyakarmana kirtimadaya.
Punyakarmana kirtimadaya.
Punyakarmana kirtimadaya.
Punyakarmana kirtimadaya.
Jivanam tava bhavatu satvakam.
Jivanam tava bhavatu satvakam.
Jivanam tava bhavatu satvakam.
Jivanam tava bhavatu satvakam.
Janmadinamidam ai priya sakhe.
Janmadinamidam ai priya sakhe.
Shantanotu te sarvada mudam.
Shantanotu te sarvada mudam.
Sarvada mudam.
Sarvada mudam.
Sarvada mudam.
Sarvada mudam.
So happy birthday to Son. And anybody whose birthday it is today. You don't know. Oh, yeah, happy birthday to Radhika, Ravi Bharati's wife. Yesterday was her birthday. Very silently, she didn't tell anybody. Now everybody know. और आरती के लिए सब खड़े हो जाइए. जय शिव ओमकारा हर शिव ओमकारा
जय शिव ओंकारा जय ओंकारा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति